And that summer in June, sometime in May, actually, there was a song that had come out. And of course, we were in the choir and we were going to band, so we knew the songs. But before this song, there was an even older song that went from every Christmas holiday from about 53, 57 on through Bonanza. And it was, see the USA in the Chevrolet. The USA is great to see today, so on and on. And then in May came a new song. If you're going to San Francisco, be sure to wear a flower in your hair. If you go to San Francisco, you're gonna find some peaceful people there. So this is this element. And me and Debbie going to band practice. Oh, and the Chevrolet is like every corner of the United States. Philadelphia being one square, Jacksonville being a square, San Francisco being a square, and Seattle being a square. So I don't know why, but that was the song. That's what I said. That's why I said, let's pretend to hitchhike. Damn, I think back, and now I'm thinking about Vicky. She would be 70 or 71. Jeannie, the oldest sister, would be 74 because she was about 19 that summer. And when I first went into this, I said, okay, Debbie doesn't want to be involved. Okay, whatever. Why obsess about something that happened 53 years ago? Something that happened. And I had friends on one block, and then I had friends on another block. One block was Janice and Stoney, Mike and Jean, Karen and Billy and Jeffy, and Sharon. On the other block was Sylvia, and I think her brother's name was Joey, Russell and Billy Mays, Kathleen, Debbie, occasionally Gregory because he had the swimming pool. But if things got too adult-like and too stressful, I'd just go over to the other block. I didn't need it. So she didn't want it told. And it took me 53 years to realize she couldn't get in big trouble because her parents were constantly in custody. They were in the process of divorce, or they were divorced, but if she fouled up, it would ruin her mother, because her mother was a hostess in a bar. She looked exactly like Elizabeth Taylor. Then I got to thinking about it. Now, I'm not trying to be, because, Jeannie's a liberated woman. She went to New York to burn her bra, all that. She turned up pregnant. Then, about a year after the ride, now, I only had a brief encounter with him, 10, 15 minutes. He was well cut, looked like I said, Lieutenant J.G. I didn't know what he was terrifying, but he was gone. That was it. He drove off. He had an out-of-state tag. He threatened us with a gun, but then he came. It was like 45 seconds he looked like that, but he came back to normal. And I said, oh, if you're looking for girls, why don't you go up to the high school? You ought to meet Vicky and Jeannie. They're already grown and already on their own. They're so pretty. Mr. Hogue is an admiral at NASA. These are things I was saying. And I said, what is your name? And he said, Theodore. And I said, Theodore? Kind of made fun of it, How I could do that after seeing a gun, I don't know. Debbie just sat there stone quiet. And I said, well, what is your last name? And he said, Bundy. And I said, your last name is the same as my clarinet, and your gun is silver like Debbie's flute. And then I said, Debbie's father's an admiral at NASA. You ought to meet Vicky and Jeannie. Going back to that story, Jeannie, if Mrs. Hogue was born in 1930, because she was a little younger than our parents. My mom was born in 26. Miss Davis was around maybe 2 years younger. Maybe she was born in 24. I don't know. She was Bedford, Sertivant, Willow Grove. My mom was in Willow Grove. I don't know where Miss Hogue came from. They had all, as a family, came from Corpus Christi, but that had to do, Muffin. Anyway, that had to do, I see these cats outside, but that had to do with his working at NASA, because one of the other things was in Texas, blah, blah, blah. But they were already separated. So we rode to Harlow, and Blandy let us out. I thought that was it. I thought that was all there was. But a year later, Debbie came, and I wasn't seeing her as much. Debbie was trying to get out of high school and everything fast. Okay, whatever. I wanted to be kid-like. I was kid-like. I was very immature, but I loved to play. I played kickball, skateboards, bicycle stunts. I was kind of Peter Pan. I liked to go home. My mom would make all these elaborate She knew how to make Philadelphia meatballs. Meatloaf, ragatouille, all this stuff. From Dad would have a garden. I had a rabbit. I didn't need Debbie, whatever. So anyway, about a year later, and that's rapid because when you're 12 years, 9 months, and now you're maybe 14 something, it's a sea change. But she came on this enamel bike, let's say pink enamel or mint green enamel, with a wicker basket, I think there was something about putting air. And then we wrote, Muffin, would you please stop? Come here, Muffin. Let's not worry about the cats tonight, okay? Anyway, so she wanted to ride up to the Riviera apartment. She had a 3 or 4 page typewritten note to some guy. I guess it was a Dear John letter from our sisters are dating and everything, But we're even older. So anyway, and it didn't ever dawn on me why the sister or Vicky or Jeannie didn't go do it themselves. There's 2 apartments called Riviera, and they're about a block apart. And the last time when I took you on the tour there to show you where it was, I was actually a block. It was the farthest down. Now you can ask any person that grew up in the 60s if you rode on Blanding. No, you did not. It was one of the main thoroughfares. You did not bicycle on Blanding. You might cross it and you might even go to Riverside, but you would go this back way. You would not ride on Blanding. Well, we rode on Blanding for the most part. When I got there, I was thirsty. I had a Western Flyer from Western Auto. It was blue metallic. And Debbie had that enamel thing. I think we had to put air in the tire. And we went upstairs. And there was a guy wearing like tan corduroys, bell bottoms. And he looked like, I'd say, Michael Nesmith of the Monkees. Okay, his hair was right at his shoulders, not long. He could have been somebody on the back cover of a Janis Joplin album. Sort of like that, And he was smiling and then bouncing around. He wasn't super tall. He had like a white turtleneck on. And then I think I was going to the refrigerator, just like I was, because I was a Navy brat, and go get some ice water, or get some ice cubes. And he said no. And we just stayed in that living room area. And he said there's no ice or something. And so there was an island, a knotty pine island, with a surfboard shape for Micah. It was an island, a kitchen island, and then a plate glass window looking out of the courtyard of swimming pool. I didn't know what was out there. And it sort of dropped down, and of course they had the rag carpet, what does it call that? Shag carpet. And he was in every corner of the room, and he kept smiling, and Debbie gave him the note, and he gave us a tip of ice water. And on the ceiling, above that, what do you call it? Island? Yeah, like an island. Above that island was a bicycle wheel hanging from something like a rafter. And it had utensils. Now, I don't care that was not a thing. Making curtains for bubblegum wrappers, yes. There was beaded curtains. The other guys that lived on Aldington that were hippies and had it was a Vega, but it looked like it had milk written on it because it was white Vega. They had painted it white and it had milk written on it. They had an American flag as their shower curtains, very sarcastic. But there was a different group of hippies. But anyway, I don't know. I could not to this day say, well, that was the same guy. I don't know. She gave me the note, and I kept getting this eerie feeling, let's go down, our bikes are not locked, we need to be starting to head back. By that time, I would have been 14-something. But here's a song from that era, and anybody could find out. When I put this out there, people become so angry. And, okay, if they're so liberated, it would be liberating to tell the truth. And then try to make me out to be like a Signal 27 or something. I'm sorry, I'm not. And it's very hurtful that you can't even have this little piece of history. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. The man is dead and gone. What possible? If other people dated him, so what? I can see some bothersome things, but when I swear to you, friends and family from historical, Kathleen, whoever, I started out and said, well, I thought it was just a ride. That's all I thought. I said, that was him and it was a ride. It never dawned on me that their phone number was exchanged and there may have been some kind of, what they call ghosting. He might have said, I just wanted to scare the crap out of them girls or something, I don't know. But, 12, down in the South, some girls get married at 15, 16. But he was a nice looking guy. He looked like Rob Lowe is how I would describe it. I thought his hair was dark because my father and family, we had fair hair. My mom had dark, kinky hair, but none of her brothers would have been old enough to, be involved in it. Anyway, here's a song from that era, that summer. If you're going to San Francisco, be sure to wear a flower in your hair. A whole new generation, the nation. Oh, if you come to San Francisco, you're gonna find some peaceful people there. So I go on about my life, and I'm the voice of the wilderness. I feel crazy, like that, ringing the bells of the wall of Jericho or something, It was like, oh my God, come on, Kathleen, somebody. If only this had happened 10 or 15 years ago, at least Susu would have been live or something, I don't know. But then everything wasn't there in place. I had my job, and like I said, I didn't see anything else about this man until I was in trouble at JSO, and I was at my parents' home, and they always had the newspaper. They always had the news, and it was in the newspaper. I said, oh, my God, that's the guy we rode with 10 years ago, And I ran down to Miss Davis, and I said, this is the guy we rode with. And you know what? It's very odd. She goes, tish, tish. She was Sephardic Jewish from Bedford, so like, shh. And I can't remember the conversation. It seemed like, what, Why isn't there more reaction? It's like the whole neighborhood kept some damn secret from me. And now they're gone. I guess I won't know until I'm dead and gone myself. All right, thank you.